So again, I'm on to my next video. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can so that you don't miss out stages and none of it makes sense. If you're looking at my space just now, it might seem a bit weird because there's no curtains on the two walls on the sides. And once there's no curtains, it becomes really obvious that I still need to decorate the room. So I built the room, but I need to skim and paint the whole walls. But I didn't want to do that until I'd finished the kind of major stuff, knowing about curtains and all the things I was going to put up. So I've not done that yet. But what I've been doing with the curtains is I felt like the room sounded really good with full curtains, but it didn't feel very open. It didn't feel very airy. It didn't even feel very bright. It was very detailed, and the center image and the stereo image and the vocal especially was unbelievable because it was so accurate, but actually there wasn't much space going on. So what I started doing and had a discussion with a couple of people I know is I moved the curtains around. I grouped them all together for a while. That was okay. I only did a curtain along the back wall and took the side walls fully away, but the stereo image completely disappeared. It became this big fluffy mess, obviously because there was a lot of wall-to-wall reflection, and it just became a fluffy mess. So what I've got to kind of happier point. It's not perfect, but what I've done is instead of having two short pieces along the back wall, because I've got a screen behind it, and then two long pieces from one corner back and one corner back, what I did was I took the long pieces and I started it in the middle, and what it does now is it goes side and then back. Wait till it focuses. Is it going to focus? Yep. So it goes from the middle. It's one long piece that goes from the middle to the corner and back. So it's a 3 meter section on each side. But that means when it opens up, I still have some sound deadening on the wall, and it also have it's far enough out that it stops that first reflection point on the wall, which is really nice. The reason for me playing around with this as well is the tough bit I have in my room is that the room is long, and then the back section of the room is actually a kind of storage space, because one of the things I consciously didn't want to do is I don't want to have a room that's just full of stuff. When I watch some people's videos and they've got like 400 sets of speakers and 20 sets of everything and stuff in the middle of the room and everything, and you're like, you do realise that affects what's going on with the room. So basically I wanted a storage space. So behind here I have about, it's like just under 3 meters wide, but it's about a meter deep, and half of it's full of boxes and half of it's full of shelves that have all my extra cables, all my extra tools, some stuff left over from doing the room. Anytime I'm taking stuff apart, I put it at the back, and then some of it goes there and some of it goes back in my house. So it's a kind of system. But you can see, and you probably hear it from my voice as well. My voice, because I'm in the middle of the room, is a lot more reflective again. Where my videos, when I'd put the black curtains in, it sounded really dead. So yeah, I've made the room reflective again. A bit, has a lot more reverb going on. But obviously that comes with some issues. So I'm just, as always, going down a rabbit hole. I'm trying to work out, do I need a little bit more curtain, or will I get to the point where I just need to put some sort of maybe a panel on one wall and a panel on the other, just to be, I don't know. We'll play around with it. The good thing is I'm in a room, and this is the reason I built this room, is I can take things step by step. Like literally every week I have a new step. I find something out. I joke with my friend, it's 3 steps forward, 1 step back every time. So when I think I've found a solution, I realise that I don't have a solution. I've actually got forward, but I create a new problem. And that happens with everything. The kit I'm buying, the cables, everything going on. It just makes me learn more and more and realise how little I knew at the start. So yeah, this is where we're at with the room. It sounds a lot better for a bunch of different reasons. I'm going to do another video in about the next 5 minutes about some of my new kit and what's been going on with that. Probably the last thing to do with this is I just realised I've not got the box out, so you need to bear with me, is I have one more trick. This is my storage space of lots of random things. But in here, I have the next thing that will relate to the curtains. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I've been talking with one of my friends and I've been watching loads of videos on this stuff. So I'm going to add Arc Studio into my system. Basically it's designed for studios and mastering, but it also has home theatre on it. And I've seen two different people, one guy especially who is an engineer in a church, a huge church, who does a lot of videos, and he used it in his whole auditorium and it worked pretty well. He said he's really shocked how well it worked. So basically I'm going to do that. I'm going to add it into the system between my preamp and my amp. And probably next week, once I've sorted I've got a couple other things I've got to sort out with my bass and my sub. And then what I'm going to do is you get a box and you get a mic, and all you have to do is you put the software on your laptop, you add in a mixer so you can plug your mic in, and then it goes into the little box. It creates a measurement of your room, and then you can either take a standard line that it kind of fixes it, or you can then say what kind of room you want it to be. So is it a reflective room? Is it you want it to be slightly more bass heavy? You want to do all these things, or you can EQ it yourself and you can just create your own presets. And then from there, once you save it, you then transfer it over to the box. You remove the laptop and the mixer from the process, and what it does is it just leaves a box. So it goes preamp and it goes into the box and then into the amp, and all you do on the front of the box is switch it on and off. And you can decide, do you want the room EQ on and room EQ off? And the reason for them doing it that way is it removes the latency, because most people have the settings in their laptop, which means it's got to come out and then there's a process going on with the laptop, which then creates latency issues, and then it comes back out and goes into your system however you're going to do it. Where if you do it in line, the way Arc Studio are going to do it, it takes that latency away. And in theory, you shouldn't notice sound-wise any interference or any interaction or things that are going on. All you should see or hear is what you've set it to do. So I'm going to put it in my rack, and it allows me to switch it on and off wherever I want. But obviously the thing with that is when you make changes, you have to redo it. So it's going to become like a bit of a process, and then go from there. But yeah, I'm quite excited about that. It's like £250. Actually, just under that. If you shop about online, I think Tom sells it for 233 or 234. So it's really good. One of my ideas is I've got a few friends who've got different spaces. So I think what I might do is, once I've got the software and I've got the mic and I've got a box, I might show them how to do it, but then that means all they need to do is buy a box. And you can get a box for 170 quid without the mic and without the software. Because I'll have the software and I'll have the mic, I can then go with them and we can kind of do it in their room. And all they need to do is they need to load the box in their room, and I can literally go around helping them set their box up so they've got a box, and it would only cost them 170 quid, but it would EQ their room for them. So that's something for the future. And then I can just help people out, and it's not a whole 233 or something more. And they wouldn't have to learn it as much, because I would probably help them out with a lot of stuff like the mixer and the cables and the stands and the everything. But yeah, so I don't know what I'll call this video. Room interference, or problems with my room, or my room didn't sound as good as I thought it did, something like that. But I'm getting there. We're working on the room so that when I'm building the system sounds as good as it can, and it's not the room that's affecting it. But yeah, I think it's going quite well. Every step has improved it. It's just there's another thing to overcome. And in some ways, that's the reason I do these videos, because I want you to see all the things that go wrong, and then I want people to comment and tell me, oh yeah, that's happened to me, or never heard about this. Have you got any more information? So yeah, The next room video will probably be on introducing ARC next week, but I'm going to do a tech video next about some of my new kit. Okay, right. See you later. Thanks. Bye.